So I'm here with Brayley and William. William's 5.5 months old, and Brayley's got an older child about to enter the teenage years. And he's asking me, how do I get my child, my older child, to actually make good decisions as they enter the teenage years? From this age up to the teenage years, we pretty well control the decisions they make. We give them very little limited choices. And we certainly don't give them difficult decisions to make between right and wrong, good and bad. But when we get to the teenage years, then we're expecting them to make good decisions. And the challenge is we've not given them any training. So what I'm going to suggest to you now that you're big boys entering those years, is that what you do is you start to share with him what you can't with this boy, obviously, and that is your doubts, your decisions, and let him hear you verbalise your thought processes. So you're trying to think of, should I go to my grandpa's place for dinner tonight, or should I watch my favourite TV show and stay home? And you start to open up about those decisions, and he will start to realise that the world isn't just black and white, because in the early years you've presented it black and white. It's either right, you do this, or you don't. But when they get to the teenage years, we want them to actually debate it with themselves and come up with a good decision. They need to learn about that, so they need to hear you verbalising it yourself. So at 10, 11, you might start with simple questions, and as they get older, you might verbalise how you're going to think about, well, I want to have a glass of wine, but I have to take so-and-so to the airport a little bit later, maybe I shouldn't. And you introduce those grey areas so that they have the opportunity to see how you weigh up decisions. Because if you just throw a teenager in and say, make a good decision, he's not going to know what to do. Yeah. And the other trick is that they need to hear about your decisions, not them. So you must not lecture them. You must not tell them what to do or what their decisions should be. You share your doubts and your decisions so that they feel privileged to be part of your thinking process. And they learn by watching you and hearing you much more than by you telling them. All right? And then last point, don't expect it to work. It's going to take a long time. It's a process that you have to do over a number of years before it's actually going to catch up in their little brain. And then you have this magic moment where you hear them talking to someone else and you hear your words and your approach to preparing them for decision making coming out of their mouths. And then you think, it's okay. Put energy into praising them and encouraging them. And the things that they do well at, they will want to